Primrose Lane. Life's a family on Primrose Lane. Just a family on Primrose Lane. With you.
That's what I call a heavy dude.
Say, he's looking at your house, Cindy.
I wonder why. I don't know him. Well, if it was my house, I'd find out in a hurry. Right. See ya. Bye. Bye-bye. Hello.
Hi.
Need some help?
Yeah, does Sergeant Chad Smith live here?
Yes, he's my father.
Oh.
He's usually home about now, but I don't see his car.
Oh. Well, I'll stop by later. I guess his hours are pretty unpredictable. Tell him Alan Williams stopped by, will you?
Okay. By the way, I'm Cindy Smith.
Oh. You know, I haven't seen your dad for a couple of years. How is he?
Oh, he's just fine.
Tell him I'm okay, too, huh? Hi.
Hi. Bob, this is Alan Williams?
Williams, right.
A friend of Dad's.
Nice meeting you.
How are you?
You walked off with my geometry book this morning.
Oh. Here it is. I guess I've been lugging it around with me all day. I'm sorry.
Maybe tomorrow you can take the rest of my books. They're useless.
Oh, a school of bummer?
Well, what am I doing in geometry when I'm heading for journalism?
I think they call it broad spectrum education.
Or if it was good enough for your grandfather, it's good enough for you.
Right, horse and buggy stuff.
Really?
Oh, there he is.
Sergeant Smith, don't you remember? Alan Williams.
Alan! Hey, you look great.
Thanks. I've been outdoors a lot, at least the last year.
On the road?
Yeah, you might say that.
I guess you met Bob and Cindy.
Yes, we've just been standing around attacking the establishment.
Good. Well, come on in and attack us inside. Betty, I don't think you ever met Alan Williams, but I talked about him.
Well, hello.
We saw a lot of each other years ago. He dropped by to say hello.
Very nice to see you, Alan.
My pleasure, Mrs. Smith.
Hey, anybody seen my ever skate?
No, but I'm sure I'll step on it tonight in the dark.
Brian, this is Alan Williams.
Hi, Brian.
Hi. It's just like this one, except it's for the other foot.
Wow, you got a great family.
It was nice to meet you, Alan. If you have time, come on back to my room. We'll push Brian out in the hall and wrap.
Oh, thanks, but I'm not staying.
Okay, see you.
Yeah, later.
Why don't you stay for dinner tonight, Alan?
Oh, please do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to pick my mom up at work at 6. I just stopped by to talk to Sergeant Smith. Thanks anyway, huh?
Well, we'll make it some other time. Very soon, I hope. Cindy, I need you.
Ancient family rituals around the cooking fire. See you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Sit down, Alan. You look in great condition.
Oh, you know, the road gang.
When'd you get out?
Yesterday. Wow, was it great to be on the outside again.
3 years?
Yeah, 3 long, long years. You know, the guys used to ask me about your letters. When I told them they came from the cop who sent me up, they blew their minds.
Well, if prison left any scars, they don't show.
I took care of myself. You know, you see crazy things on the inside. Guys who are hopeless, you know, Real sickies just waiting to hit the streets so they can get even. I decided real quick where I was at, that I didn't want to be like them.
What happens now?
Well, a job. That's why I came to see you first thing. Do you know of anybody who'd hire a broken-down ex-con?
I'll ask around.
I'd really appreciate it. Hey, listen, I gotta go. Mom's waiting for me. You know, I can tell Mom's happy to see me, but she's not too sure of me just yet.
Be patient. Give us all a chance to accept you.
Yeah, well, I have learned to be tolerant.
We'll find something. It's just gonna take time.
You know, I just wanted to make sure you were still on my side. Now that I know, I'll be okay.
Dad, where have you been hiding him? How come you never mentioned you knew Alan? He's really far out.
Kind of guy you bump into and you can talk to, you know? Instant communication.
I thought he was okay. For an old guy.
Where'd you meet him, Chad? The police academy?
I arrested him.
Arrested him? You're putting us on.
3 years ago?
He's been in prison. He got into some bad ones. They held up a gas station, beat up the attendant, put him in the hospital.
Oh, no. I figured he was a college student.
He looks like it. I thought he was worth saving, so I tried to encourage him with a few letters so he wouldn't feel put away and forgotten.
But a bad guy. In our own house. A bad guy.
And he served his time, paid the penalty. Now he's out, he's entitled to an even chance.
Well, is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'll bet he does great.
Now, I'll make some phone calls tonight. Tomorrow I'll drop by a few stores. First thing he needs is a job. Now, pass the potatoes.
Bob? Would you help me?
Not unless I know all the facts in advance. Last time I gave you a blank check, I wound up on top of the roof, saving a squirrel that didn't want to be saved.
Egg. Fell out of the robin's nest. Landed on the grass.
What do you want me to do? Hatch it?
Put it back up there.
You can't.
Why not? It didn't break.
Because you touched it. Mother Robin will just kick it out again.
Why?
Because she'll know human beings have touched it.
I'll wash it with soap.
Wait a minute, Brian. I'll put it back for you. Where's the nest?
Our elm tree in the backyard.
How high up?
I'll hold the ladder.
Thanks a lot.
I'm glad you picked me up, Alan. It was really nice to see you again.
Well, I see a pretty girl waiting for a bus looking a lot like Cindy Smith. What else could I do?
I don't usually accept rides from strangers, you know. But a friend of my dad, well, that's different. Did you have any luck with the job?
Well, I broke even. 5 attempts, 5 turndowns. Maybe your dad had better luck.
Alan, if you don't get a job, what about going back to school?
It wouldn't work. I mean, can you imagine going back to high school at 21?
Well, what about a trade school?
That's just about where I've been. Now I have to find someone who will hire me. Cindy, you haven't mentioned one word about me being in prison. I know your dad warned you.
He told us.
It's funny the way people react when I tell them I was in prison. They get scared.
You sound bitter.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I am. Well, if it hadn't been for your dad, I would have thrown in the towel.
It's funny, the two of you being, well, you know.
Well, friends? Oh, it's an old cops and robbers trip. You know, you get thrown together, and sometimes there's a chemistry. And that's what happened with us. Anyway, I think of him as a friend. Listen, if I'm really in the clear with you and your dad, would you go out with me?
You mean if you asked me for a date, would I run away screaming?
Would you be embarrassed?
Of course not.
How about Friday night?
Well, I'm not sure. Mom and Dad are going to the theater, and I think I have to babysit with Brian.
Oh, sure, yeah. I dig.
But I think I could make a trade deal with Bob. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Smitty.
Hello, Sergeant.
Hi, Ellen.
You two want to talk, I think, so I'm going in. Friday.
Friday.
Friday?
Yeah, I asked Cindy for a date. Any objections?
None. What about the job?
Nothing. You do any better?
Not yet, but I'm just starting to look. Lots of people, lots of places. Only takes one.
Maybe I really am a dangerous character.
We'll find something for you. Just gonna take time.
Sure. Hey, thanks for trying. I'll see you.
Bob, I want to ask a favor.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
How about babysitting Friday night?
No deal. I'm going to the movies.
Please, Bob. It's important to me. I'll take your turn twice.
That sounds fair. How come?
I have a date with Alan.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Sure, I'll stay with Brian. You go ahead.
Thanks.
Well, Cindy, a date with Alan? You didn't ask me.
Why, I haven't asked about dates since I was 15.
Yes, of course, but I knew those boys, and I approved of them, and you knew it.
Oh, I see. Alan is different.
Mm-hmm. A boy just out of prison? Someone you've known just since yesterday?
But Dad said he had a...
Now, your father's just trying to help him get a job. He didn't say anything about having a date with our daughter.
But he said Alan had a clean slate, Mom. Just how clean? You say one thing, but you mean another.
Establishment taking another beating?
I made a date with Alan Friday night.
He told me.
He told you? Oh, well then, of course, you told him very politely and very firmly.
I didn't object at all.
You didn't object at all. Now, look, Chad, principles are just fine, but I happen to be a mother, and I've got to protect my children.
Look, it's all right. It really isn't worth you two fighting about it. I'll babysit Friday, don't worry.
Betty, either way we lose, but if we stop her, we lose her a lot.
Chad, how can we go out Friday night when we know that she's alone with that...
Ex-con?
Yes. All right, so she's 18 years old. But she's a lot younger and more vulnerable than she realizes.
I told Cindy that we accepted Alan all the way.
Chad, do you mean to tell me that you would really let her go out with a boy who held up a gas station and put the attendant in the hospital?
I'm afraid we have to or lose a lot of respect. Now, we'll go to the theater, leave Bob to babysit with Brian. We'll try to take things in our stride.
All right. You win. But you know something? I think the world would make a lot more sense if the mothers were in charge. I washed them. I simply had to.
Okay, if it makes you feel better. About ready to leave?
No, not yet. We have plenty of time.
Boy, that perfume smells like Friday night again.
Out. Mom, that's fine. You and Dad don't want to miss the curtain.
Looked like a spot there. Maybe it's just worn through.
You're stalling.
Stalling?
So you can be here to face Alan.
Now, why would I want to do that?
To warn him he'd better not pull off a burglary job with me in the car.
No such thing. We're letting you go out with him, aren't we?
Oh, hi, Mrs. Smith.
Hello, Alan. Come on in.
Thank you. Oh, you look beautiful tonight. Must run in the family.
Oh, thanks. Cindy will be ready in a minute. Won't you come sit down?
Okay.
Well, now, what are your plans for this evening?
Well, we really haven't made any. I figured show, hamburger, you know.
Oh, drive carefully?
Very.
Home early?
Before midnight.
Hello, Alan.
Hi.
Ready?
Oh, sure am. Wow, you look fabulous.
Oh, well, you look okay yourself. Good night, Mom.
Good night, Cindy.
And don't worry.
Good night.
Good night, Alan.
Now, really, there's nothing to worry about. Honest. Have a nice evening.
Ready?
Yes, they just left.
Did you grill him?
Well, not really. But I did let him know I was a bit concerned.
All right, let's relax and enjoy the evening.
All right.
Time's up.
Couldn't we climb up the tree just once more?
No, it's dark.
I have a flashlight.
The egg is in the nest. That's the best we can do. Get to bed.
Half an hour more.
You've already conned me 2 extra half hours.
15 minutes.
March.
I'll just run out to the tree while you're on the phone.
Hello?
Bob?
Hi, Mom. Where are you calling from?
We're still at the theater. It's intermission. Any calls?
Calls? From who?
Cindy.
No. Why?
Well, I just wondered, that's all.
9:30 and all's well. By now they're holding hands and eating popcorn.
Relax.
All right. Remember, you can always have his page at the theater.
Oh, I get it. Alan.
Never mind. Be there.
Mom, if the sky falls in, I'll have you paged. Bye.
Goodbye, dear.
We're home.
What time is it?
11:30.
Any calls?
Just yours. Mom, you really didn't expect him home by 11:30, did you?
No, but I just wanted to be here. Somehow I couldn't keep my mind on the play.
But by the time they get a hamburger, it's got to be midnight. Have you ever seen the mob of kids at the movies and hamburger stands Friday night?
Well, I think I'll just sit up and read a magazine. Chad, you go on to bed, dear.
No, I'll wait up for you.
Chad, it's way past midnight. Now, surely they've had enough time for a movie and a hamburger.
Maybe Cindy ran into some of her friends. You know what happens with her non-stop dialogue. Cindy?
No, just a car passing by. What are we gonna do?
Well, why don't we just go to bed and try to sleep?
Ha, sleep. Chad, there must be something we can do.
1 o'clock. It's not all that bad.
Well, couldn't you call the precinct? I mean, some of the cars could be on the lookout for her.
Betty, she'd never forgive us if we had a car pick her up.
Well, we just can't stand here and do nothing.
Calling the cops?
Bob, go back to bed.
Okay, but would you two be uptight if she was out with some run-of-the-mill college kid?
That's right, you know.
I don't care. She's our daughter, Chad. Please call the station.
But there's no charge against him.
Well, is there any harm in their looking for her? Chad, we just want her home safe.
Come on in. You wouldn't believe the crowds. A long line at the show, another long line for hamburgers. Alan wanted to bring me right home after the movie, but I said there was no strain.
You were worried.
Oh, yes. Half out of our minds.
You were calling the police.
Yeah.
Dad, not you.
Well, why not? Why should he be any different? I was really stupid, wasn't I? Thinking I could make it. I'll always be an ex-con. Thank you for reminding me.
Dad.
How are we supposed to feel?
Like you talked, that's all. I thought you meant it.
I guess not when it hits that close to home.
Did you have to destroy him?
Cindy, we did not tell him to go and hold up a gas station. That was his idea. And from that moment on, it was up to him to prove himself.
But you didn't even give him a chance.
I blew my cool.
So die.
Could I come back in for a minute? I just want you to know something. If I'd had a family like this, parents who cared that much, I never would have gotten into trouble. I wouldn't have let them down. You see, I understand why you make such a big deal of Cindy being out late with me. It's pretty simple. You love her. It's a very special kind of love. And I'd just like to get in on a little of it sometime. Somewhere. Very sorry I worried you, Sergeant Smith. Goodbye.
Oh, not goodbye. We're gonna find you a job.
You'll make it, Alan.
You'll put it all together for sure.
Hurt.
How can you two put up with a couple of righteous kids?
There are times when it isn't easy.
But on balance, it isn't bad.
Dan, I figure if a robin can accept her egg, maybe society can accept Alan. Night.
What Robin? What's he talking about?
Who knows? Good night, darling.
If a robin can accept... Sometimes I don't understand our children at all.